Maura McEvoy has been capturing the world from behind a lens for decades. Her photographs have been featured in catalogs for such outfits as Pottery Barn, magazines like National Geo Traveler and In Style, and in several interior design and cookbooks.
But it's her latest project that 207's Beth McEvoy found is one she's been working toward her entire life.
In the kitchen, which we still have the old sink, this little thin cupboard.
Maura McEvoy proudly shows me around the cottage where she spent every summer of her youth.
This is a picture of the original house. Dirt road then, and there was no other houses around it.
The Wells Cottage, built in 1911, has housed 5 generations of her family.
We used to have neighbors who would come over when we were kids, just wondering where we all slept.
Her 93-year-old father, Albert, retired to the home decades ago.
And nothing really has changed.
Her fond memories of this home were the foundation on which she built her first book.
I guess I'd been thinking a lot about how upset I was, that I felt sad that all these houses were disappearing.
It's called The Maine House.
You know, I've heard that so many times, oh, that house is a tear down. Oh no, that's, and it's not.
At first glance, you might think it's a book about interior design.
It wasn't just about, pretty spaces that happen to be in Maine. We wanted to tell more of a story than that and take more of a stand. And that's when we said every home has to be a home where the person who lives within created the space.
Maura enlisted the help of other women who lived in Maine, Basha Burwell and Kathleen Hackett.
We wanted to capture the Maine of our childhood. We're not saying we're the first people who were ever in Maine, obviously not, but we all, 3 of us, we experienced a childhood in a type of house that we all loved and really touched us. And we wanted to make sure that they're, paid tribute to, because they're going away one by one.
In 2017, Maura and Basha began the search for their Maine houses.
It does a lot of times look like some family just got up away from their kitchen table and we took the picture, because that's how these houses are.
In typical Maine style, the weather was challenging.
I would say 75% of the book was shot in, like gray, rainy, foggy weather.
But the people they met were generous, as they found when they photographed the Marston house on the island of Vinyl Haven.
We shot their place and we were just not going to make the ferry. Sharon and Paul, the owners, they said, and we had just shot the attic. They said, oh, just stay there. I'm like, really? That was so nice. And we had the loveliest night, sleeping on these cots in their attic. Stuff like that was always happening.
You can learn a lot about how people live and what they value by the contents of their home.
Can't even call it decorating. It's more just, filling rooms from your heart.
The pages are filled with beautiful homes on the coast and inland. But what makes a house a Maine house?
It's not necessarily about space. The first thing that comes to mind is the frugality. I had a picture of somebody who had hung a fan from a rope, just a fan, that was stretched and hung and pointed right at the bed, and it's that kind of thing that just charms the heck out of you.
From a warehouse, a cannery, and a church converted to living spaces to an artist's retreat in the woods, the homes have very different aesthetics, but still something in common.
They don't fuss over interior decoration. It's almost like decoration by accumulation, after a lot of places were generational. And, we were in a room that had been layered with 4 generations worth of stuff.
Maura's home, just a few doors up from her father's, and the thoughtful renovations she made are featured in the book.
The book is for anybody who cares about homes that have history, that are made from love, that are generational, but also they're first-time home owners in there who, have renovated with sensitivity and, and didn't try to go bigger and bigger.
Maura says her book is both a tribute to and a record of Maine houses.
I feel like we live in this very disposable age, and Maine is, there's a feeling here about these houses that you treasure, just how important the house is, the items are. Like, you don't throw things away.
But it's also a love letter to her family.
You know, I thought a lot about like the moment where my grandparents showed up at the front door of the woman who owned this home. And little did they know that they were going to be providing a space that 5 generations later, their family would be just, you know, this is our special place.
We should note, by the way, that Maura McEvoy is no relation to our Beth McEvoy. The Maine House came out last month, and interest in the book has been so overwhelming it's temporarily out of stock, but it will be available for purchase the 3rd week of September. And beautiful homes, beautiful photos.
Never get tired of looking at those classic places.
Right.